first YouTube video, so bear with me. So today I'm planning on doing my everyday makeup. My face is obviously naked right now, so I'm going to sit with y'all and talk to y'all a little bit about myself, help you to get to know me a little bit. And I'm going to do some makeup, so let's get started. We're starting out with a blending sponge. So I always suggest getting these wet because I do believe that that helps the makeup blend a lot better. Now that I've got my sponge wet, that you can see that it's expanded. So next we're going to pull out foundation. I personally use liquid foundation. Honestly, it's cheap. It's Revlon. It matches my skin tone. I think this is $150. You can get it anywhere, drugstores, anything like that. So what I like to do is I like to take it, and it's just a little squirt bottle. So I'm just going to squirt it on my blending sponge. Twice maybe. I'll add more if I need some. And then I'm just going to dab it in the most general areas that I'm going to apply it. And then you're going to blend it in. I don't suggest rubbing. I have always been one to pat. Alright, now I've got my liquid foundation on. So what I do next is I'm going to take my concealer, if I can find it in my makeup bag anywhere. And for this, a lot of people like to use this on blemishes they may have. I just personally use it under my eyes because I have really bad circles under my eyes, typically. So I just take this and I put a little bit on this blending sponge. Or you can put it directly on your face. I think it kind of is up to the person. And I just blend it in right under my eyes. Next up, I like to add contour. Sometimes I add a powder on top of this, just like a clear powder just to dry it out a little bit. But right now I didn't put a really heavy coat on, so I think it's okay where it's at. So next up, we're going to do contour. This is the contour palette I have. Honestly, I went to Sephora and she told me to get this and it looked good on, so that's what I did. So I like to start out with my highlighter. I have this brush. And so I'm going to take the thicker end and I'm going to dab it. I like to mix it with this really light color right here and this yellowish color right here. This color down here is too dark for me, so I don't typically use that. So with contour, you're just going to put it right along your cheekbone and right here, like with your eye connecting back to your face. And you're going to do the same thing on the other side. And then you're also going to do the same thing along your nose. Now, one thing you want to be careful of is that you don't want to put it on the very tip of your nose, because that can make it look like you have a really long nose, and nobody wants that. So I just like to add some here, and then I always put a little bit just like underneath my eyebrows just to make the area pop a little bit, as well as on my chin right here. Okay, so next up we have the second part of contour, I guess you could say, where you're going to add a darker color to make your cheekbones stand out and anywhere else you want to stand out, I guess. So I take the lighter color typically because I have a very fair skin tone. And so I'm going to start out with that. I always tap it on there just so it's not on too thick. You're going to take it and you're going to find that line right there, just like I did. And you're just going to apply it right below the cheekbone. Then we're going to repeat that on the other side. I was always taught to put a little bit up here. I'm not really sure it does that much, but I do it. And then also just around the edges of your nose. And I personally like to add just a little bit to my jawline, just enough to make it look like I have more of a defined jawline. You don't want to do this too heavy because it's very easy to see if you're the type of person that contours your jawline. So there's that. Next up, I like to add a little shimmer and shine and blush. That's just what I go ahead and do. So this is, it's some kind of, it's Laura Geller Marshalls, man. I'm cheap when it comes to makeup. So in here we got a makeup palette that I love to use, as well as, or an eyeshadow palette, as well as some shimmer and shine right there. So that's what I use, just a little bit right here just to make the highlighter pop a little bit more. nothing too intense. And then if I can find it, I have an additional brush for my blush that I like to use. I can't currently find it right now, so I'm just going to use this. And so then I take the pink that's in here. I mean, blush, it just kind of depends what looks good on your personal skin tone. And for me, it's more of a pink, a lighter pink. And so just add some to have some color so you know I don't look dead anymore. It's great. Alright, so next up, I like to go ahead and take some primer. I know a lot of people use primer on their entire face, but that's not something I like to do because it can have a tendency to make me break out. This primer is called Makeup Forever. So when I apply eyeshadow, I typically just put a little bit on my finger, or I'm actually going to put it on my hand because this bottle has been acting up lately. And I just take a little bit, and I'm just going to rub it right above my eye. You don't want it to be too thick because you don't want it to be liquidy when you start to put your eyeshadow on, because obviously that would not turn out very good. And then I'm just going to apply some to the other eye, right above, just right where you're going to apply the eyeshadow. And then I'm going to take the rest, and I'm going to wipe it off. And I'm going to let this dry a little bit. So typically while I let that dry, I go ahead and do my eyebrows. I have had tremendous struggles with finding something that fit my eyebrow right. So what I use is just this. It's literally also Laura Geller, and it's really eyeliner, but I used it as an eyebrow because it's dark enough that it fits my the color of my eyebrow. So yeah, so I'm gonna take a brow brush. I don't actually know the actual definition for this. Bear with me, guys. Like I said, first YouTube video. So I'm just gonna take it, and I just like to brush it out. Make sure that there's no primer that I accidentally got up too close to my eyebrows. And just kind of get them in the position that you're gonna want them to be in. And so then I take this off, and like you can see, it's just a little tip like that. So I like to start at the end because that's mostly what I fill in. And then I kind of come up to the top and add in what I need to. I like my eyebrows to be as natural as possible just because, I don't know, I just feel like fake eyebrows are really easy to detect if you don't know how to do it right. Not that I'm a professional makeup artist, but I see people and I can recognize that. Okay, this camera quality is terrible and it looks way darker, but I promise you it's not that bad. Okay, so now that our primer is dry, we can go ahead and apply our eyeshadow. So I'm also going to be using the same packet, the Laura Geller packet. And I like to start out with a very light color. And this one, it's going to be this pink right here. Pink powder. And so I take a thicker brush, something about this size. I'm going to take that and I'm going to, I probably should tap that off, but I didn't. I'm just going to apply it below my eyebrow, all the way down to where my eyelid begins. You just want to really fill it in there and make sure you don't have any white spaces left. We're going to do that right here on the other side. Okay, so now that we have that on, we're going to go to the second lightest color, which is going to be this one right here. And it's got a lot of glitter in it. You can't really see because, again, the camera quality. So what we're going to do is we're going to start in the the inside corner of our eye and just kind of lightly tap it on into the corners. We're going to do that on the same side. And something I like to do is I like to take this and close my eye and just kind of get it in the corner just for a little bit of dramatic effect. Okay, and so now we're going to move on to the second darkest color, which is right below this one, which is this one. And we're going to add that onto the rest of our eye. So what I like about this is it's very light and it's not too like extreme. It's just subtle. And then you see this darker color right here. This is what I'm going to add into like the C-section around my eye. And so I like to take a lighter brush and just get it in the crease of my eye just so I kind of have a little bit of a guideline to go on. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to just get a little on here and tap it out because it is a really dark color. I'm just going to add some right in there. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, and now we're going to go back to the brush that we previously were using, and we're just going to take a little bit more of that. Always tap this one out because it's so dark. And then we're just going to kind of go around here. And this one, there's really no strategic way to do it. You just want to get it even is all we're really trying to do here. One thing I find with primer is that it's way easier to even your makeup out, which is one really nice thing about that. So we're just going to keep going. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. It's not too heavy, but I'm not doing anything major tonight, so I'm just going to leave it where it's at. Alright, and so that's our eyeshadow. I do always take this brush that I have right here. It's a Sephora brush. It's blending. It's for blending. So I like to take it and just blend this in a little bit more, blend it in with all the colors I already have on, and just to make it look more natural. Okay, so that's our eyeshadow. Up next we have eyeliner. Personally, I don't always use eyeliner just because sometimes I don't think it's really necessary once I put on my mascara, but I'm just going to use it today for dramatic effect. So I always try and get a little bit on my waterline because I don't think it looks very good when you just have it like above your waterline. Now I'm just going to take it, and I don't like a lot of eyeliner, so I'm just going to go real lightly right here. Just to add a little bit of drasticness, just to draw attention to your eyes. And so then we're going to take mascara. I use this Mary Kay mascara, Lash Intensity mascara, and I love it, honestly. It's the best. It's got this really nice big brush, and I feel like if you really work with it, it can make your lashes look very, very beautiful. Oh, there I go, getting mascara all over my face. That's what I'm best at. And last of all, well, obviously I'm going to have to wind up the mascara I get everywhere. Last of all, I'm going to add my more natural mascara, which is from Clinique. It's called High Impact Mascara, but the brush is a lot smaller, so it's easier to get in those hard to reach places with it. So I always like to go in my corners real intensely here. Just get those a little pumped up, and just on the inside a little bit. And this is what I also use to get on my bottom lashes, because I don't like using a super big brush because it looks like I just smeared mascara everywhere. So I just take it, I just close my lashes over top of it. Alright, and then we're gonna wipe. Now that we got our mascara wiped up, I like to put on a little bit of chapstick. And then you're just going to go ahead and add whatever lip gloss you choose. I'm using Clinique. This is called Bear Pop. Alright, just to add a little bit of color. And, alright y'all, now that we are at the end of this makeup tutorial, I thought I would just take a quick second to tell y'all a little bit about myself. My name is Grace. I'm from Kentucky. I'm 16 years old. I'm a sophomore in high school right now. YouTube is something that I have always loved to watch. I find it so entertaining. And I have always wanted to start a channel, and I just feel like I'm at a place right now where I'm ready to start a channel and that it would be a lot of fun. So I just decided to go ahead and give this a shot. One thing I hope to bring to my channel is more makeup, because I love makeup. I'm very passionate about it. It's kind of my creative outlet. I also enjoy doing hair and different hairstyles, and hopefully I'll be able to bring some videos like that to my channel. Not that I am a professional by any means, but it's just something I enjoy, and I think a lot of us just enjoy, like, average people doing average makeup, and, you know, somebody that we can relate to. Another thing is I love animals. I love horses. I'm an equestrian. I've been riding for about 8 years. I've been show jumping for 3 of those, so hopefully I'll bring some riding videos into the mix for all you horse-loving girls out there. And then last of all, fitness is also a very big part of my life. Not that I am an expert by any means, but I do hope to incorporate some different products that I use, and, you know, different little body hacks that I have or things like that into the channel, and some workout stuff. So yeah, those are the main things, a few things about me. So I guess I'll see y'all in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time. Bye.